Hi, it's Robert from Gymden. Hope you're well. Welcome to this mobility method. Today we're looking at ankle mobility and hips, just trying to get as much fluidity into those as possible. There's going to be some strength building into those as well. So grab yourself a pint of water, take a sip, lick around your lips and hydrate. Cheers. Okay, as always, putting the water safely to the side and away from you. Okay, let's find a space. As always, let people know you're taking part in a training session. Close the doors, put your music on silent, put your music on for yourself, turn your phone onto silent, and find a space. Check around one way, check around the other, make sure you've got plenty of room. Good. Just check above your head, make sure your hands aren't going to go into your light fittings, and find a space. Now, as always, if you can with this training class, do this in bare feet and feel your connection to the floor. From here, we're just going to find our space with our feet fist gap apart. Our second toes want to be nice and parallel, our hands on our pelvis. We're just going to gently raise up and down into our calf raises. Now, this is a really important little acid test at the start of our training session. I want you to feel that your big toe to your little toe, they're all engaged to the floor. And as you roll down, your heels just kiss the floor before coming back up again. Lift strong and high. And as you get to that top point, feel that your little toes and your big toes are all engaged. Nice straight line through. Now, as you come back down, as you're lowering down, you're working through all the bones of the feet. Lift up through the torso. Slowly rock and drop back down. Lift. Slowly lower. From here, let's do the same thing and let's bring out some lateral pressure. So we're going to take our arms wide into a crucifix position here, bring the shoulder blades back, rock the pelvis forward and feel what happens now. Now, the load should still be in the center of the body. Even though the hands have come out wide and we've got obviously a bit more lateral deviation of the body, we want you to feel that as you push up, you're keeping your feet centered to the floor. The big toe to the little toe, driven down to the ground, all the way through that ball of the feet. Lifting the chest, raising the shoulders, and then retracting back. Do the same now with your hands. Palm facing up to the ceiling. Stretch your arms out wide. Can you keep through the ball of the foot? Turning the hands so the knuckles are facing up. Again, stretching wide. Lifting up through the foot. Slowly control back down again. Turning the palms face up into a wide position here. And again, still feeling what happens in the feet, all connected to the ground. Now, if you start to feel your fingers are starting to get tingly, just drop out, cross the arms across the chest, hold it up on the ball of the foot, slowly release, shake out the arms, drop them down by the side. And again, up into the ball of the foot. And then we're going to raise back into that wide position here. Your thumbs are going to be facing behind you. Your fingers webbed open nice and wide. Lifting strong up through the ball of the foot. Slowly lowering back down again. Five more here, let's go. Four more. Three more. Turn knuckles facing up, palms facing down to the floor. Two more, still working tight on these calf raises. As you're going up, you want to feel that the hands are in a straight line from one through to the other, through your head of your body. And as you're coming up, you're lifting and your glutes are firing to give you nice extension through your hip. Release, shake off the arms, cross the arms across, Might feel you've got a little bit tight in the chest. Swing and roll the shoulders. Good work. Coming over to the right side. And you're going to use your hand or your knuckle against the wall. We're going to work on our calf raises single. Feeling the big toe to the little toe down to the floor. Lift your torso up nice and high. Drive strong. Now, if you feel like you haven't got the strength to do it all on one foot, use the other foot just to help push you up a little bit higher. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to feel the big toe to little toe. It's all square down to the ground. It's doing all the work with you. The leg stays nice and straight. The pelvis is driven forward. The shoulders are back, chest lifted. Three more here. Two more. Try and get as much lift each time. One more. And release. Shaking out, walking out. Take a little butt kick through, release off the hamstring and the calf. Let's go over to the left wall. Okay, so we're going to work on our left foot. Up high through the plantar flexion. Slowly drop back down again. Again, bring your chest up nice and high. Retract your shoulder blades. Let the left foot do all the work. And use the other foot just to stabilize, but it's not taking any of the load. And just see how high you can get up on that tiptoe. Dropping back down again. Feel what happens in your foot. I can feel that I'm predominantly, probably about 60% on my right big toe at the moment. So I'm firing down. I'm turning my little toe to squeeze down to the ground as I lift through. This drives bigger proprioception, greater control through the foot. Lift up strong through the glutes, bring your shoulders back and lift your chest up high. Good work. Four more here. Three more. Two here. One more. And release. Shake it out. From here, coming back, feet fist gap apart. Tilt to the right side. Drive your bottom forward. Squeeze your glutes. Lift your chest and drop to that side. From here, you're going to rotate and come back. So this right arm is turning through and coming back. Now it's not just the arm, the shoulder and the hip and the pelvis, they're all rocking around. So we're reaching down, twisting and coming back again. Now as you're twisting here, feel what happens in that foot. Does it rock so the big toe comes up and supinates your foot? Or does it allow you to rotate whilst keeping the big toe down to the ground? Rotate and through. Think what's happening with that foot. Is the big toe and little toe staying down to the ground? Are you allowing that rotation? Really center your foot from your big toe to your little toe to your heel down to the ground. If you want to develop the strength of your running stride, you want to be able to do all of these movements with the whole of that foot flat to the ground. Change side. So again, we're going to rotate and through. Tilt to the side, rotate. Again, feel that big toe to little toe down to the ground, rotating round. Let's do four more here. Three more. A few clunks and cracks coming out the back now. Two more. One more. And release. From here, grabbing yourself a mat, sitting down to the wall. Good stuff. Now, supporting your back and drop your right leg out nice and straight. Flex your left knee on top of your right thigh. Place your left hand side the left knee, ideally on the thigh or onto the shin, and give a press down. You should feel a stretch through the inner thigh here into the adductors. Then to lift and drop. See how many reps we can do here. Now we're looking at developing the range, increasing the mobility of the hip. We're keeping the head back to the wall, the shoulders back, and we're trying to drop lower each time with that knee. Now if you find it gets uncomfortable with the malleolus, the bump up the side of that ankle, getting into your thigh, just adjust the position of your top foot. One more here. Supporting that leg and then driving it out straight. Roll that hip. From here, the left leg stays straight. We flex the right knee. And we drop the right knee out wide. Lifting the knee high and then guiding it down as low as it feels comfortable. Again, change the foot position on resting on top of the thigh. All of a sudden you find it's digging in. See if you can change that position. Make it comfortable. Get to that point where it's just a little bit uncomfortable. Hold it, and then try and pull your knee back up against your hand. Release that pull. See if you've got a little bit more movement. And release. Shake it out. Taking the left foot back up. And then we're trying to take that heel up as high as we can into the hip. We're going to try and circle that knee out and around. Try to get it nice and fluid as you rotate round through. Taking the knee up high, turning it and rotating. This is developing the internal external rotation of your hip. And as a result, will improve the fluidity of your ankle and your running stride. So you're guiding the knee around, up, and circling around. Takes a few to get loosening, and then eventually it starts to release nicely. Twist, turn. Now use the other foot on your toes, on the bridge of your foot. As you're working through, you're angling and getting some movement out of that ankle. You're going to feel some clicks and some cracks turn out of this ankle as you're working through. Three more here. Two more. One more. From here, We're going to bring our thumbs in behind the malleoli of the ankle. And we're going to allow some rotation of this ankle joint. So, support, roll your thumbs in behind the malleolus, the back side of that ankle joint, and allow the rotation. So you're lifting the toes up and then pushing that down, circling through that foot. Try and get as much movement into it as possible. Feel where it gets stiff. Find that point. Is there a couple of ligaments in here that are short, that need a bit of support, a bit of TLC? Perhaps it's on the front of the shin. Mine is just in here. Really getting in tight into that joint. So we're going to find out where that muscle is joining through into that tendon. That's where I'm finding mine. And that's coming through into the medial base of that gastroc stroke, just where the fibers of the soleus join underneath that gastroc. So that's why I'm finding that's tight for me. Find out where it is for you. It could be actually on the front of the shin, hip anterior. It could be underneath the sole of the foot, getting into all of those muscle groups here, the flexor hallucis longus. Nice. And find out where that point is for you. Good. And release. Let's shake it out and swap it over. So we're going to pull the right foot up on top of our thigh. We're going to support the knee. And again, we're going to roll the knee around with us, with the thigh. Okay. Now again, you can take the heel, make sure it's not causing you an aggravation in the front of the thigh. You're trying to create that joint movement, hip rotation, circling it, getting the internal external rotation of that hip joint. This gets quite tiring after a while as well. You've really got to force the hip to move. It's quite a big area of the body that we miss out of quite a lot in training. Hip mobility, internal, external rotation of that hip joint. By doing this, you are creating so much more movement, because if the hip can rotate, if it can oscillate better, then what happens is we can create greater powerful movements in the ankle and create greater speed when we run. Let's take this foot again, and we're going to place our thumbs behind the malleoli of the ankle, and we're going to roll it round. Trying to get as big a movement as we can. Feel the points of me, wow, right on the lateral side of my ankle there, just above that malleoli. That's where I'm finding it. Bit of pain in there. So I'm going to take my knuckles or my fingertips, and I'm going to place that into the lateral side, certainly where this tib anterior is coming down the front of the shin. I'm going to give that a bit of a massage at the same time as I'm rolling this foot round, trying to get to lengthening out those fibers, feeling what's happening in the foot, trying to get a bit more rotation, trying to web the toes a little bit in that movement as well. Circle that foot wide and over. Much movement you can generate. Change the direction of it, counter the clockwise of it. Whoa. Meaty clumps coming out of that one. 2 more here. 1 more. And release. Shaking it out. From there, taking the left foot in, reaching down towards the right toe. Keeping the right leg nice and straight, hinging from the pelvis. Trying to reach down to that foot. If you can only get to your shin, that's great. If you can reach your foot, even better. If you can pull the tiptoes back into it, feel a deep stretch through the back of that calf. Slowly releasing there. I'm going to change legs. Bring the right foot inside the left leg. And stretch forward. Take the hand on this side of the right thigh. And releasing. Good work. From here, taking yourself through into standing. And from here, feet fist up apart. Hinge from the hips, drop down. Wow, massive improvement in hamstring flexibility. Just by releasing the hips, working on that circular motion, it's a massive improvement in performance. From there, standing, stretch, elongate into what the fingers lean back and reach up. And release. Really, really well trained. Hope you enjoyed that training session. As always, grab your water, hydrate well. And as always, if I can help, get in contact. And I'll see you next time for the next one. Well done. Cheers.